Hey, sweetheart, can I talk to you for a minute? Nothing's wrong. I just. No, it's not bad. Hey, look at me. It's okay. It's nothing bad. You don't need to be worried. Okay? I think actually that you're going to like what I have to say. Okay? Yeah, let's go over and have a seat. All right? Okay. No, like I said, it's nothing bad. I'm just trying to I'm just trying to choose my words. I want to express myself clearly here, and I want the things that I say to really reflect the way that I feel. I have been reflecting lately about us, about our relationship. You know, when we first got together, we were so in love with each other. Okay, we were head over heels, but our relationship was still very rocky, very tumultuous. A lot of drama, a lot of emotional trauma and heartache. Yeah, I've thought about that. Because to anyone else, they would have looked at us and said, "You guys are not good for each other. Turn around and walk away." And we didn't. No, baby, I'm glad we didn't. Because of where we are now. Just let me get these thoughts out, okay? And then respond. Just stop thinking about the next thing that you want to say and just listen to me. Okay? Like I said, you're going to like this. Anyway, at that time, when we started our relationship, both of us were going through some really heavy stuff, right? Things that we were not emotionally prepared for, things that we had never considered would happen to us. We were injured, we were damaged individuals. It was, the wise thing wisdom would not have said to start a relationship right then. But the past is the past. We decided to. And I remember a lot of times you were frustrated about things that were going on, and that sometimes express yourself in ways that are very hurtful to me. And I want you to know that I have really been thinking about those things, about the things that you said, that you asked for, the reasons that you were asking for them. And I want you to know that I understand. Yeah, I do see why those things were important. I do see why they were critical to the success of our relationship. I want you to know that I see you. I see you more than I ever have. I understand you, and I hear you. And not only do I understand why certain things bothered you, but I also understand why they weren't good for me either. I want you to know that I see that. I understand that. And those things are not going to happen again. Yeah, that's my point, sweetheart. There's a change. There's a change inside me because I can see things more clearly in a way that I never had before. The things that you needed, the things that I needed, why each of us needed them. I see all those things in a way I never have before. And the things that hurt you, they're gone. And they're gone for good. I know it did, sweetheart. And I want you to know that it was never my intention to hurt you. Never once did I deliberately hurt you. That doesn't mean that hurt didn't happen because of the things that were going on, but I do want you to know at least there was not maliciousness. There was never the intent to hurt, or to bring you down, or to harm you in any way. Never. I've never had anything but pure intentions when it comes to you. Well, like I said, the way that you expressed some of the things that you wanted or needed, it wasn't always a healthy way to express it. There were ways that you could have handled things differently and better. But I understand now that you weren't just making a problem up, that you weren't just bringing drama, that there actually was a problem. And even if your approach to solving it or handling it or bringing it to my attention left something to be desired, that doesn't mean that the problem was of your creation. And I understand that. I understand that, and I'm sorry. I really am. I appreciate that, sweetheart. And I've seen the changes that you've made. I've seen the way that the changes that you've made to the way that you handle things, the way that you approach me. I've seen your increased patience. I've seen increased love from you. And I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, ask. Well, like I said, anyone looking at us back then would have said, you two are just toxic for each other. You need to walk away from each other. But no, I don't think that that's where we are now. Well, yeah, the past does have an impact on the present, but the past only becomes the present if you don't change anything. If you keep going down the same road and you never, ever change a thing, then yeah, the past just continues and it becomes the present, it becomes the future. But that's not what we did, is it? Both of us were willing to look inside ourselves. Both of us were willing to reflect and point the finger of blame inward when necessary, to see the things that we were doing wrong, the ways that we were hurting one another, the ways that we were hurting our relationship. Both of us were willing to apologize, and both of us were willing to change, to make real, sustained, meaningful changes. All right, let me make an analogy for you here. I want you to imagine a stretch of highway. It's 100 miles long and it's straight as an arrow. You don't have to move the steering wheel at all to get from one end to the other, okay? But now let's suppose you turn that wheel just a half a degree to the right. When you go 100 miles, how far are you going to be from where the highway would be? It wouldn't even be in sight, sweetheart. And that's just half a degree of change. The point I'm trying to make is that when we make changes, they have a big impact, especially the further we go down the road. You and I made changes. You and I, we did things differently. And as a result, as a consequence, our future is not going to be a continuation of our past. Our present is not a continuation of our past. And where we were not good for each other before, we are good for each other now. I love you too, sweetheart. I love you with all my heart. Mm. Mm. I'm very excited to see what the future holds for us.